All right, all right. Welcome, guys. Welcome to another week. You guys know every single Monday we have some quality speakers, and I know you guys have been waiting. Memorial Day was I believe, last week, and you guys missed. We took a break, but I definitely want to get you guys another high value person. Today, I have Coach Roxy. She is a certified life and dating coach, and I'm just super excited to have her on this live with us because we're going to be stepping into a field that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it needs to be talked about. So, Broxy, man, tell us about yourself, man. Like, tell us who you are, how you got started. Like, just give us an introduction.
Awesome. Well, hello, everybody. Well, I want to say thank you so much for the invite to your platform. I love what you're doing and all these great speakers you've had over the past few weeks. And I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to be able to provide value to your community. So I'm Coach Roxy, guys. I have been a coach for over 9 years. I answered the call 2 years ago professionally, though, to become a certified life and dating coach. And I have coached single women, married women. I've coached men, yes. I've coached men as well. But I'm really at a place now in my journey where I believe God has anointed me. He has gifted me to be able to coach single women who are healing from toxic relationships and who want to learn how to date better quality men. And so I'm really big on like healthy love, healthy relationships. I'm big on toxic relationships or really stressful. It's not good for our health. It's just not good. And so I just help my clients learn how to date better, help
Yeah,
them with their self confidence, their self esteem. And,
yeah,
when they work on their self confidence and they work on themselves, then they can attract better quality partners. So that's who I am. I am a mom of two amazing boys. I'm a boy mom. I'm super busy. I have been married before, and yeah, I have a lot of experience when it comes to just relationships. When it comes to marriage, I have a lot of experience, and yeah, so that's basically who I am.
wow. Man, you said a lot. You know what? You said something. You say you're a boy mom. You don't want to. You ever wonder what it would be like to have a daughter?
You know what? I have talked about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm so scared that I'm gonna get another boy. I'm
What?
really like, Lord, I do not want another boy. They're a handful. You know, boys have a lot of they have testosterone. They're always want to play outside. They always want to do something, right? They got
Yeah.
like the energy as boys. And so my thing is, I'm like, Lord, I need a girl. And if I try again when I get
Right.
remarried, of course, I'm like,
Yeah.
Lord, it has to be a girl. So for
Mhm.
now, it's a no, but I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Man, well, I'm glad to have you here. And again, thank you for just accepting the invite. Tell me this, how long have you been a dating coach?
So, like I said, I've been a dating coach for over about almost 2 years now. So, I left my corporate job. I was working at a private university and I left there to become a certified coach. And I think it really stemmed from the things that, I had been going through in my personal marriage and things like that. And just really feeling like, you know what? I have been coaching for all these years. I've helped so many people get married. I've
Yeah.
helped so many people within their dating life and secure like healthy relationships. And I just was like, you know what? It's time for me to do it. And
Wow.
so I answered the call in 2021 and here I am.
Wow. And did you get into this particular field because you noticed how it was going, or you really just had a love for seeing people together? You want to see more people married. Like, what was it that really pushed you into the scenery?
So I think for me, I have always been the go-to person for like, relationship advice. And so all my friends since I was in high school, they all came to me for advice. I went to school for psychology, by the way. So I'm a psychology background. I
Mm,
do hope to be a therapist, so I got to go back to school for my master's. But I've always just had a passion for like healthy relationships. I've always been a matchmaker. All my friends, like I would hook them up with people. Like it's just something I believe it's a gift that I have, and so yeah, I love healthy relationships. And like I said, I think for me, the things that I've had to go through. Because prior to getting married, like I went on a celibacy journey. I was single for 3 years. I did the
Wow.
work. God delivered me. Like I really did the work. And I said, you know what? Now that I'm going to go into this space, I really want to use the tools and my experiences, right? Because I do believe that when you're a leader,
Right.
I really believe in transparency and using your experience. And so with coaching, I basically take everything I've gone through, my own experiences. I take my educational background and all of that along with the Holy Ghost. Okay. I'm a Christian coach.
Right.
And so my coaching is very anointed by God. And so, yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because if I'm talking to different women and different men about just dating, and most of the millennials, right, like they don't want to get married. They don't want to actually enter that field because just what they see, so many failed relationships, so many failed marriages, and most of them say, Roxy, like the dating pool has piss in it. Right, that's a new term that they're using, right? Like they're just really slamming that dating is not what we seen our parents doing, or how we see our parents staying together for a long time. I've always seen marriage and honor marriage, but I'm gonna be honest, like I was always the person that wanted to be with someone for 30 years, 40 years, and however that goes. But as you're seeing this new generation, and as I'm seeing different women and how modern everything is now, like I'm not saying I don't want to be married, but it really makes me second guess. Like, do you really want to do this because of what we're seeing out here? So what's your perspective on what you are seeing in the market and the different stories that you're coming across? Like, what's your perspective so far?
My perspective is it's all about your mindset.
Ooh.
So one of the things that I share with my clients in my dating coaching program is mindset is everything. That is actually one of the topics we actually discuss. Mindset is everything, and you have what you say. So for those who are like, there's pee in a dating pool, I don't know about that, and there's no good men left, that's who you're going to attract. And so I'm really big on believing it, speaking it, saying, you know what? I don't care what the world is saying, but I know who God is, and just to declare that from your mouth and say, you know what, that won't be my story. I know dating has definitely changed over the years. What I would say is when I first got married, I think, and that was over like 7 years ago, but I think just dating has changed, and then we got social media. We have all these different things that distract us and cause things to happen in relationships. But I would definitely say is though the world may be saying, oh, there's pee in a dating pool and there's not a lot of success when it comes to marriages, I think it is all about your mindset when it comes to that. And so changing your mindset, having a healthy dating mindset is very important. And then secondly, I would say one of the things I think that, and this is one of the reasons why I became a coach too, is I realized that sometimes people get married for convenience, right? People get married because they may feel like, oh, you know what? Well, there is a lot of people that I hear say this. There's so many people who are pressuring them to get married, their families, their friends, and things like that. So like a lot of times people get pressured to get married. So I think people are no longer getting married for the right reasons. So my thing is like, do not let fear stop you from living the life and having that love that you desire. But then to also know that can happen for me. I just have to choose the right person. Your choice is important. So who you choose, it really matters. And just make sure you're not doing it from convenience. You're not being pressured, or you're not doing it because you think you love. That's a whole nother topic. Okay. Thinking you love somebody, it may not be, because you got to remember that I mean, especially women, the emotions we have fluctuate, right? We're up and down. Like 1 minute we love y'all, and then the next minute we don't. And so we have to just make sure that the reasons why we want to get married is the right reasons. It's not because, okay, well, time is running out and I'm getting older, I want to have kids, or my mom keeps telling me to get married. You have to ask yourself, why do I want to get married? And what am I willing to do to attract, to choose that right person? That's the key.
Ooh. Y'all getting some real game on here, man. Y'all better tap on in. That That is real. You said a whole. I mean, you said a lot. The number one thing that I took from this is, well, a couple things is you have what you say, right? Like,
Yes.
hey Victoria, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. Mindset is everything. Because if you are constantly thinking that you're going to get bad results, or constantly thinking I'm not going to meet a quality man, then you're going to get exactly what you're speaking out your mouth, and
Yeah.
that is good. And now, Coach Rox, I want you to, where does that resonate with about? Because there's a specific scripture that I'm looking for about speaking what you want. Can you expound on that? What scripture does that come from? I want you to just really talk about that, how important that is.
Well, one of the scriptures for me is Proverbs. I think is what, like, the 18th chapter, that says that death and life lies in your tongue, and so whatever you speak is like what, like, you are going to have. That is one of my scriptures that I use within my program. Is that our mouth, our tongue is so powerful, and so I'm a very positive speaker. Like, I speak nothing but positivity. I shut down negative thoughts. I
Yeah.
counteract it with positivity, and so that is a scripture, that the one that says, death and life lies in your tongue, and those who
Wow.
love it will eat its fruit. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're thinking that, oh, there is pee in the dating pool and there's no good men, you are going to attract exactly that. So change your mindset and you change your life. I promise you. I have coached women who came into my program fearful and had a negative mindset. And the moment we worked on their mindset, they started seeing positive results.
That's good. That is so good. Um, and married for convenience. You know how many people literally get in a relationship because they're lonely, literally get in a relationship because they're bored, or literally get in a relationship because they want to be loved.
Come
Uh,
on. Come on.
Literally get in a relationship because maybe they want a meal. They're hungry. I'm gonna talk about it. Some of these daughters, they want to eat. They know some of these men, they got it to take them out. Literally get in a relationship because they weren't loved properly as a kid.
Mm.
And talk to me about that, about those very reasons of getting into a relationship. How does it alter your dating experience going forward because of the previous dating reasons? How does that change your perspective moving to the dating world after, I'm gonna say?
Well, so what I say about that is, for those people who've had, negative dating experiences, I think it's so important to heal. And
Yeah.
this is why I tell people healing is so pivotal. It's so important to heal before you move on to the next thing, because if you don't heal, you will self-sabotage the next relationship. And so I personally believe in taking a dating sabbatical. So when the woman come into my program, and they're just getting out of a relationship, I tell them, like, listen, I know you, I mean, I know you want to get married. I know you want to jump from this actual relationship to another relationship, but I
Right.
tell them it is time to take time to heal. It is time to use the inner work, and sometimes people just want to rush the process, but they have to realize that you need to take a break, take
Yeah.
a step back, and see, what is it that I need to learn from this? What did I do
Mhm.
wrong? And how can I move forward in a healthy way so I don't keep making the same mistakes?
That's good.
So I definitely think that is a way to be able to counteract the negative experiences, is to just take a step back from the dating world and just
Mhm.
put things into perspectives.
That's good. Okay, this is good. Now, when you're, let's go to you, Roxy. Like, because Roxy, you always been whole, and healed and just bubbly, and what I'm saying, like, talk to me about that. Like, were you a little toxic back in the day? Let us know.
So let me just be honest, y'all. Let me just say this, okay? Because I'm gonna be honest. Because the one thing
Yeah.
about me as a leader, I believe in transparency. That's how we reach people. And so I want to say that back in the day, I wasn't always whole, healed, and delivered. Okay, so
Mhm.
I believe that I was the little toxic one. I had attracted great men. I'm not gonna lie. There was a few men I'm like, man, he was a good guy, but it was
Yeah.
just this one thing, and I was not healed. I had daddy
Mm.
issues. I had mama
Wow.
issues, and so when I realized, back in my 20s, when I realized I kept having a pattern of meeting these great men, I'm
That's
talking about
good.
they were good men, and I realized that I was the reason why the relationship failed. I had to take a look and say, wait a minute,
Mm.
what is it within me
Right.
that caused these relationships to fail?
Right.
And so I had to go to God. I went to God. I went to like conferences, workshops. I was
Yeah.
like reading the word. I was reading books. When I say I went through my journey,
Right.
and that was when I said, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 3 years. I'm not gonna entertain no man. Y'all, I did not talk to not one man. Okay. When I
Jesus.
tell you that was not easy, but it was so necessary because I didn't realize that the hurt, the abandonment, the pain that I have gone through from my past was affecting the relationships that I was having. So taking the dating sabbatical just really it just really like allowed me to be whole, to be healed so that I can
Yeah.
show up way better now in
Yeah.
my relationships. And so yeah,
Mhm.
like I said, I wasn't always whole and healed. We all got our past, but I thank God for deliverance. But I'm telling you, I had to cry. Look, let me tell you something. God had worked on me so much that
Mhm.
the relationships that I had, the men that I hurt, he said go back and apologize.
Wow. Wow.
One of the relationships, I remember this one guy, when I went back to him, I sent him a message on Facebook and he was
Mhm.
so shocked.
Yeah.
He said, Roxy, this is so commendable that
Wow.
you took the time to come and tell me this. That inspired him to want to do the same thing in his relationships. Because I
Wow.
asked him to forgive me. I told him that I forgive him, but I released him.
Yeah.
How many people have we hurt or have hurt or have hurt us that
Wow.
we have released them? God
Yeah.
specifically told me on my healing journey that there are some people, the soul ties, right?
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
to get to the root of the thing. There were some soul ties I had, and I said, you know what? I gotta release you. So I
Right.
had to write letters. I had to reach out, and I said, listen, I know it's been years, and you're not expecting this, but I
Yeah.
sincerely want to say I apologize for the way that I treated you, and I
Wow.
released them. And ever
That,
since, I'm telling you, God freed me from those soul ties.
that is so good. That is so good. So, do you think that, I know that was the way God was dealing with you. Do you think that apologizing for the way that because it seemed like the freedom was for them, but it was also more for yourself as well.
Yeah.
More for you to kind of just release that off of your
Yeah.
conscience, those bad experiences. Like, okay, I've got a breast fresh. Like, before I apologized, I was still connected. But as I said sorry, I'm letting it completely go. I'm
Yeah.
dismissing. This is a closed chapter in my life.
Yeah.
Because if you don't close it, it's still attachment. That's good. That's good. You know what? There's only one person I did that to. So you know what? I'm going to go back to those 3 or 4 people, and I know they in my head right now, 3 or 4 people, and just say, you know what? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because if I could be transparent, right? Like, I'm a great guy, but there's some things that
Mm.
I can definitely work on.
Mm.
I can be a better man. I can be
Yes.
less controlling, right? I could be less.
Mm.
There's a lot, like
Mm.
for example, let me say it like this: for a woman that has high standards, always had those high standards. You shouldn't criticize her because she has high standards. Maybe as a man, you should come up some. Maybe she's challenging you to come up, and because she's challenging you, you want to reject that and think that she's the bad guy. But now she's actually requesting that you come up to a higher place so that way we can move together. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just want to speak my truth. I just want to say it like that because just
Amen.
being transparent, me releasing that
Mm.
is it feels good. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just being honest. So that's Roxy, that was good. There's
Amen. Amen.
there's another thing. You know what is the difference between love and lust? Because as we mentioned, some people get into relationship for love,
Mm.
sometimes people get into relationship for lust. And if I could just be honest, I feel like going into a relationship for love or lust is there's a difference between a woman that you like and there's a difference between a woman that you need. And
Mm.
I feel like the need is the love and the like is the lust. Because when I'm out and about, there may, I'm attracted to those, those bad and bougie women. I love the woman that don't pay me no attention, don't answer your DM. Because for me, it's a challenge. I love a challenge. I don't like anything easy. However, I'm
Yeah.
realizing that that woman may not be good for me because it's never worked out. So that's a woman that I like, but that's not a woman that I can actually uh, go to purpose with. I'm gonna say it like that. So, what is the difference between love and lust for you? What have you seen?
What I think about love is I think love is more about being selfless. Lust is
Yes.
self-centered.
Yeah.
Love pours into you, but lust
Mm,
takes from you.
wow.
So when a person is lusting after you, it's more like what can I get?
Ooh.
But when a person is really they are like in love with you, this
Yeah.
is more like what can I do? How can
Yeah.
I serve you? How can I
Yeah.
make you a better man? How can I make you a better
Woo.
woman? That's love. It's sacrificial.
That's
Lust is not.
wow. What can I take from you? And what that is good, man.
Yeah.
Because when you think about lust, it's kind of see like, okay, like I want this, I want that, I
Right.
want to do this right now,
It's
give it
about
to me
me.
right now. I don't want to wait later. But like you said, love is how can I serve you? Like, what is it that I can do for you? How can we do this together? How can we achieve our
Right.
goals?
Right.
That's good.
But
That's
then think about the Bible,
yeah.
First Corinthians, what is it, the seventh chapter, I believe,
Mhm.
or is it the 12th, the one about love is patient, love is kind.
Yeah.
That is the summation of love. It's like it is patient, it is kind, it's not wicked. It's
Right.
like that is to like me when I think about love. That
Mhm.
is what we should all strive for.
Right.
When you read that particular scripture, you see that it is not about you, it's about the person being patient, being kind, being
Right.
forgiven, and all of those different qualities. And so yeah.
Right. Now tell me, is because the new normal, right? I hate to say it like this, but I have to go off of what I see, right? So the new normal of what we see, in most relationships is toxicity has become normal, and a lot of different relationships, people have embraced that. Some people don't even know it's toxicity. Some people think that that is how relationships are supposed to be. So my question to you, Roxy, is toxicness normal? Is it healthy? Or like, I mean, can a relationship be a little toxic, or toxic is not really good for both parties?
Toxic is not good for both parties. It's
Mhm.
not. It's never good. However, I think when it becomes normal is when you have been familiar with
Mm,
toxicity within your environment, within your childhood. And so, whatever you have been familiar with is what you are going to think is okay. So,
wow.
let's just say, for instance, I mean, if you grew up in a toxic environment with your mom and dad and they were fussing all the time,
Yeah.
you may become the type of adult within your actual relationship where you would start to do the same thing and you're going to think it's normal. Why? Because
Mm,
that was what you saw growing up, right? And so
mm,
it is important that we unlearn. There was a lot of
unlearn.
things we need to unlearn. The older we get, the more we
Mm,
realize, oh, within my bloodline, there's
that's
a lot of
good.
toxicity, but we got to get to a place within our generation where we're willing to say that's not normal. That's
Yeah.
toxic and
Wow.
it is not good for me. It's not good for my mental. And I think nowadays, Torian, it's like
Mhm.
we got to remember that our mental health is so important. And we have
Yes.
seen that throughout the years with COVID since 2020, how, I mean, so many people have suffered mentally, but toxic relationships have been the number one thing. Divorce has been on the rise since COVID. And so we see that the world is failing because
Right.
of toxic relationships. And so we just have to hold ourselves accountable and we
Mm,
have to really just get to a place where we're literally trying to unlearn patterns, the toxic behavior patterns. We have to unlearn that and we got to do better
wow.
at that.
That's good. It was I had forgot my question as you were talking about process and how you were taking time. You took about 3 years and you didn't talk to no guy, right? So, like right now, I'm in my own process just currently, and one thing that I'm understanding about process is very, it's very lonely, and You know, you don't have a lot of friends that you can talk to. It's just you and God. So my question to you is, how did you know that you were ready to exit out of your process? Like it was time for you to step back into the world. Like, you know, you've been in this cocoon for like ever, right? You've been in this cocoon and you've just been, you know, you're almost to the butterfly stage. But how did you know, like, okay, it's time for me to step into the woman that I'm supposed to be and leave all that stuff behind? How did you know it was time?
So I'm gonna be honest. For
Mhm.
me, when I was, when I was on my journey for the 3 years, I really got into my purpose. I
Yeah,
was like serving God. I had a ministry at my church. I was
yeah,
doing conferences. I was like sold out for Jesus. I was like, I don't want no man. I'm
wow,
still loving on Jesus. But I'm telling you,
hmm,
when I ended up meeting my ex-husband, it happened suddenly. So to be honest,
wow,
I had no idea that I
yeah,
was going to get married. I had no idea that things was going to unfold. I didn't even think about it. It was the
mhm,
person came into my life. He saw that I was, he saw that I was doing all these great things in the kingdom, and then
yeah,
we kind of got together and things like that. But I can say for those who are watching me, I'm gonna say this: sometimes God will move and He will send something, whatever you need. God will
mhm,
send it suddenly. Because I'm telling y'all, I got married so quick because I was like, wait a minute, how do
yeah,
I go from like, serving Jesus, doing ministry, so now I'm like, getting married, having a baby? Like, what is going on? And so
yeah,
things can happen so quick. And the Bible says one day is like 1,000 years. I'm
yeah,
telling you, there have been people who have waited years for their husbands, and I'm telling you, God can do it suddenly. It
right,
can do it so quick to where you're like, wait a minute, six
yeah,
months ago I was just single. But
right,
that's just how God works. And so I had no idea, to be honest, that I was ready. But I know
hmm,
that leading up to that, I was doing the work. That I was
wow,
reading books on finances and I was praying for my future husband. So I was intentional, but I just didn't expect it to happen when it did. So it did catch me by surprise, to be honest. It
right.
did. It caught me by surprise for sure.
Okay, so so you're basically saying that because you did it God's way, which was taking the time to detox from the way you were into the woman that God wants you to have. And you're saying like after that process, things just expedited super fast.
It just happened really quick, and I honestly was not like what? Like, I'm about to be a whole wife. I'm about, it was just so many different things. But again, I think we all have our different journeys. My thing is just to prepare, like really just get to a place of your journey where one thing I did do, I researched the causes for divorce way
Mm,
before I even got married.
yeah.
And what I did was I studied.
Mm-hmm.
I read books on finances because I realized that was one of the reasons for divorce. I
Yeah.
I read books on like just really different things, how to parent, how to do this. I was really preparing myself. I read books on communicating, how to
Yeah.
communicate with the opposite sex. So I just wanted to learn more about
Mm,
being married, and so I was just preparing myself. But again, I had no idea that it was going to happen when it did.
yeah.
But I do know that God does all things well,
Right.
right? And He
Right.
makes no mistakes, and nothing catches God by surprise. And so the biggest thing I would say is just continue to prepare for what you've been praying for. So for those who are in their process and they're like, okay, God, I want to get married. I mean, it can
Yeah.
happen any day now. But
Yeah.
what are you doing to prepare for that moment
That's
so that
good.
when it shows up, you're ready for that thing?
Wow. So it's like you're basically saying like how you gonna ask for a husband and six figure this and a nice home and three kids, but you haven't credit score low, not your job not stable. You basically saying like there's a preparation stage that you got to go through that can take some time. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of get to your destination.
Right. Now, I do want to say this too, because
Right.
sometimes I do hear people say, well, I'm not ready to get married, especially men.
Yeah.
I've coached men as well. And I think men say this the most, that they're not ready. They got to get like a new career. They got to be making a certain amount of money. And I want to say,
This is good.
you're never going to reach that place of perfection, right?
Wow.
Oops. You're never going to reach that place of perfection, but
Mhm.
you definitely want to get to the place where you're like, you know what? I'm ready to receive love.
Wow.
I'm ready to pour into someone else. I'm no longer selfish. I'm selfless.
Yeah.
So do not expect that you will have arrived to the destination and you got it all together. Because
Wow.
we don't have it all together. And that is the beauty about marriage, is two people who are not perfect coming together, who serve a perfect God, and God does the work. And so, yeah, I wanted to say that. Well, for those who are thinking that they have to have it all, the good credit score, all that.
Guys, she just completely reversed some things in my head.
Yeah,
I
hear that a lot from men.
Yeah, she completely reversed what I've heard, because, you know, most women, I hear this all the time, right? I'm about to say it with my chest. Most women don't want to deal with projects. They don't want to deal with a Build-A-Bear. I don't want to have to build you up. I don't want to have to do this. But Roxy, talk to me on that, because you just said something. So because I'll be seeing your post, so this is kind of going against what you're saying. So let me know.
It's not.
Talk to me then.
Okay. So I'm not saying to date a project like that's absolutely not what I'm saying. We do not date a project. But because to me, like, a project is a man that he's not working. Okay. He's not self-sufficient. He's living at home with his mom. Yeah. He got a whole bunch of baby mama drama. He got a whole bunch of baby mamas, and he does nothing but stay at home and play video games. That is an example to me of a project. But let's be real. There are some great quality men that woman may have passed up because maybe he's not a six-figure earner. Maybe, he don't drive the best car. So that is what I'm saying, is like, we can't expect for a man to come into our life and he's making 6 to 7 figures and we're not making that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just have to be realistic and know that we can build together. Now, there are certain things that a man should have. Like I mentioned before, he needs to have a job. He needs to show you that he's self-sufficient. He needs to have his own home. There are certain things to let you know that, you know what? That man is going to come into my life and he's not going to take, but he will add to my life. And that is the difference between a project, versus somebody that, okay, he has not arrived, but we're going to come together and hopefully we can build together.
Wow. That's good, man. So project. So you're saying that as a man, you don't believe that a man has to come together perfect to the person that he's dating or about to enter into a relationship with?
No, he doesn't have to be perfect, but he has to have certain qualifications. Because, okay, for instance, look at the man in the Bible okay, so we're gonna take a look at what is his name? Adam in the Bible.
Okay. When
we look at Adam, we see that he was right there in the garden. Right. Had a relationship with God, because this is what I always use when we're talking about the man that God has for us, right? Yeah. I'm speaking to the women that are watching this. Yeah. You look at Adam and you see that he had a relationship with Christ, number one. Number two was that he had fellowship with God, right? So he had some type of, whether it was like a devotion, he was spending time with God and things like that. Number three, this man had responsibility. He was working. He was not just, not just doing nothing. He had responsibility. Yeah. So when you think about these men and the men that are in the society and they're expecting you to take care of them, that's a project. We don't take care of a man. The number one thing that I tell women is that man must have a relationship, not religion. He can't just be a church goer. He needs to have a fellowship with God. He needs to have a relationship with God. But hear this, ladies. Not only that, he has to have responsibilities. What is he doing? Yeah. How does he pay his bills? You know what I'm saying? Like, there are certain qualities that you should be looking for. And that will let you know, okay, you know what? He's not just going to come into my life to take. Yeah. But he's going to come into my life and we're both going to add value to each other's life.
Wow. Okay. You know what? You taking the sisters to church, and I hope the men are listening. You said 3 things that a man should have in place. You talked about a relationship. with God. You talked about finances, right? And you said community. Did I miss one? Are those the three things you said?
So he's supposed to have a relationship with Christ.
Uh-huh.
He should have fellowship with God.
Right.
He should have responsibilities, right?
Uh-huh.
So things that he's taking care of, and he also needs to be working. He needs to be a provider.
Yeah.
So when that man comes into your life, he needs to be some type of provider where he is self-sufficient.
Yeah.
He's not living at home with his mom talking about he's taking care, because there's a lot of men, ladies, who say their mom lived with them. No, he lived with his mama. Okay, she take care of him. So to me personally, that's a no-go. That's a red flag. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm gonna just be real. Y'all know I'm very honest and transparent. But
Right.
yes, there is a certain quality and things that you should be looking for. But more importantly, I want to say this to the ladies that are watching. You're looking at character.
That's good.
You're looking at character.
So what are some things, because ladies, y'all real hypey in the chat, and I'm pretty sure y'all like, yeah, Roxy, tell them, let them know. But what are some things some women should have in place to be considered as a high quality partner? What are some things, I need the eyes to reverse. So y'all had y'all fun. But what are some things that the women should have in place?
Okay, so I'm just going to say this because, again, I have coached men. So I do know that women can sometimes be toxic as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And so some of the things a woman should have is definitely number one. And, I am a Christian coach, so I'm always say Jesus. So have a relationship with God. But ladies, it's important that you're self-aware. One of the things that I teach is self-awareness, because believe it or not, that's what makes a successful relationship.
Yeah.
And self-awareness is basically knowing who you are, knowing your triggers, knowing your behaviors, knowing your choices, why you do what you do.
Right.
And so this is the reason why I said, again, to be single, take a sabbatical from dating so you can get to learn yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to learn yourself so much that when a man comes into your life, you can say, nah, he's not it, because I know who I am. So she needs to be self-aware. And also, and this is one of my favorite ones to say, confidence is so important. Women do not understand that a high value man or a high quality man, he loves a confident woman. And sometimes women struggle with low self-esteem, low self-confidence. Yeah. And so your confidence is gonna speak for itself. Okay. He's gonna be like, oh, wow, she got it together.
My God, man, you better preach, man. You better let us know. Talk to us.
Yes. So she needs to be confident. And then another thing, ladies, you need to be healed. You don't need to be holding this man accountable for what another man did. So like I always tell the ladies in my community this. When a man comes into your life like a new man and you have been in toxic relationships, that man gets a clean slate. Okay. He should not have to suffer for what the old man did. Because a lot of times, Torian, women come into my program and they're like, oh, well, the other guy. And I'm like, no. He's a new man.
Yeah.
Now his actions will show you, and then you can make your decisions based off of that. But he got a clean slate.
That is, you have no idea of how many women I have dealt with that have not did the work, and I'm not. Listen, I'm taking responsibility as well, because why did I choose them? Well, they look good. I was looking for the eyes. I wasn't looking at these spiritual. I was looking from these spiritual eyes, right? But you have no idea how many women I have dated that literally went through different things, had a bad relationship, didn't really take the time to heal. And when I'm in a relationship, well, my ex did this, so this is the reason why I act like this. I'm checking your phone because I just don't trust these Negroes. Like I should not be I shouldn't be, what is the word I'm looking for? I should not be
responsible.
The casualty.
The casualty
for something that happened when I wasn't even there. I'm new. I'm just I'm coming in your life to bring value and to help and to, my ex paid all my bills. So what about you? What are you gonna do? Well, my ex took me to a high-end relationship. I'm not your ex.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm a new person. So that's correct. A clean, every you said every new person that comes in your life should start off with a clean
Like
slate.
a clean slate. Absolutely. You got to. You can't have that fear. You can't think that, oh, he's going to do the same thing. Give him the benefit of the doubt and let his action, the actions he has, let him show you.
Yeah.
Let him show you, because sometimes, men can say whatever.
Yeah.
They have a good talk game. But I'm
Mhm.
very big on saying your actions will speak more louder than your words. And so it's important to watch their actions. And then until somebody show you something different,
Yeah.
then you can come up with your own hypothesis. But yeah, you definitely want to give everyone a clean slate.
Cassandra said, should that be the male as well?
Yeah, for everybody. We should all go into relationships, not even, you see, here's the thing too. I realize a lot of times we go into relationships and we talk so much about the ex. Like, we
Mhm.
don't need to be comparing.
No.
That's how you know you haven't healed. And that's something I teach the ladies I coach, is that when you are going back into dating, you
Yeah.
don't need to overshare. And that's another
That's
problem
good.
women have. They overshare. Well, my ex,
Yeah.
he did this, and okay, nobody, no, he don't need to know about your ex, all that.
Yeah.
No, he does not need to know that.
Yeah.
You are going into that with a new mindset, with a clean slate. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying to not say anything about your past relationship, because some people do need to know the
Right.
relationship did not work out for such and such reason. But
Mhm.
sometimes we have a propensity to overshare. And
Yeah.
so, yes, Cassandra, it goes for male as well. We should not, we should give everyone a clean slate.
That's good, because I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm speaking on the male perspective, Cassandra and Rossi. Like, there's like, for example, I have met women that I have went out with, and on a couple of occasions I felt used, like I was providing a lot of value in my way. So now entering into new relationships and different things, in the back of my mind is, okay, what is she here for? Is she using me for my finances, my resources? Is she actually here for the same reasons that I'm here for? Because, and you know what, I need to work on that,
Yeah,
because
good.
I live in Chicago. I'm gonna just be honest. Some of these Chicago women, they will not even talk to you if you're not spending no money on them. I'm so serious. But some of them, but I'm gonna be honest, in my mind, I look at all of them like that now. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
not,
That's not necessarily good, right? But so I'm thinking it goes back to what you said about um so is a man. If a man thinks, if you think that way, then you're also going to attract those type of people that way as well. If you're thinking that a woman is coming to use you, then you're going to attract her right to you.
so
So
here's the
that's
problem. Here's the problem that I'm potentially seeing with you. Your
mm-hmm.
vetting process may not be the way it needs to be. Because
Mm,
before you even start to think that, you need to be vetting her. You need
yeah.
to be asking certain questions before you take her out on a date. So I
Mm-hmm.
tell the ladies that I coach, before you go out with that man to eat,
Yeah.
there's certain things that you should know to be able to determine whether or not this person is potentially not good for you.
Mm,
So sometimes what I see is that the vetting process just needs to be a little bit more intense. We ask surface level questions, and it's important to ask deeper questions.
wow. The hard questions,
The
right?
hard That's it.
The hard questions that people don't want to talk about.
Right.
The hard questions that determine compatibility.
Yes, that
Wow.
determines that. Here's the thing that I want to say too. People do
Yeah.
not realize
Mm-hmm.
that you're not just looking for someone that you're compatible with. You're looking for someone that's suitable for you. So
Yeah.
when you go back to Adam and his actual wife, you
Mm-hmm.
actually see that God said, "I'm gonna send you somebody that's suitable for you." When like you look at the term suitable, that
Yeah.
means like-minded,
Right.
like you, someone that's
Right.
comparable. So,
Yeah.
within our society, we say that, how does it go? That the opposite attracts, right?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, you don't never want to be with someone that it's like the opposite attract and
Yeah.
we're two different people. So we're just going to come together and hope it works. I'm
Right.
telling you, those relationships don't work. You
Mm-hmm.
always want to be with someone that, and here's the key,
Mm-hmm.
someone that has similar mindset,
Yeah.
your mind,
Right.
because when you can't think the same, the Bible says that we are to be of one mind. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be all the time, but you got to be with someone, and you have to, when you're vetting, you're determining whether or not this person and you have similar mindsets. You're
Mm-hmm.
determined that this person you have similar values. You're
Yeah.
determining that they have similar morals, and all
Mhm.
those things are similar, so that
Mhm.
there will be no division. And
Wow.
so that's why the vetting process, you should be the like questions you're actually trying to ask them is based from your values, your
Yeah.
morals,
Right.
your belief system. Come on,
Wow.
somebody. Your
Yeah.
belief system is very important, because
Mhm.
how can two walk together unless they agree, right? You want to make sure that you're walking with someone that is just like you, very
Yeah.
suitable.
Right. Wow. This is good, man. So okay, so this brings me to my next question. Should you be dating for love or for purpose?
Purpose.
So do you know how many people are dating for love and not purpose?
I know, and that's why they're ending up in divorce. Because people think, because remember, sometimes though, sometimes love can happen in the beginning. You're in that honeymoon stage. Oh, I love him. Oh, she loves me. We just love each other.
Right.
But I realized that throughout time, that love is not
Hmm.
always the unconditional love that we're supposed to have, the
Yeah.
agape love. And love can also turn into, well, you know what? I loved him over 10 years ago, but
Yeah.
he did a lot of stuff to hurt me. I don't love him no more. So
Right.
my thing is, when you're dating for purpose, you just know that this is somebody I'm doing life with. This is somebody that God has specifically designed for me to do life with, and we're doing purpose together. I definitely do think you should still have that level of suitability, compatibility, all of those things. But
Right.
when you know your purpose, it's better, because
Yeah.
then you can actually weed out people who don't match your purpose.
Facts. Wow, that's good. That's good. So how do you hmm how long do you think it will take to know if someone is aligned with your purpose?
Ooh. All right. So I personally think it can take up to 6 months.
Really?
I think it could take up to 6 months. Yeah, because I think, first of all,
Mhm.
when you know your purpose, right? So let's just say God has told you, Tarian, like you're supposed to be like a podcast host and you're supposed to be traveling the world doing this.
Yeah.
Then typically the woman that you should choose are women that are basically kind of doing something similar, or
Mm.
somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that will kind of match where you're going.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and hear me
Wow.
out, sometimes people date for now, but don't date for purpose, for the future.
Wow.
We should be dating the people we are dating now. Can you go where I'm going?
Yeah, that's
Can
wow.
you match where I'm going?
Wow. That's a good question. Can you match where I'm going?
Yeah.
Wow. Roxy, some people don't even have the capacity to match where you're going because of where they are. And you just said some people are dating for now and not the future. But if I know my purpose and where I'm going and I'm looking at the person I'm with, the person that I'm with doesn't even have the capacity or the mindset to even think that far.
Then they're not for you.
Woo! Oh
They're
man.
not for you. So here's the thing.
Wow.
So I was just sharing this on my platform the other day about how I was in this great relationship, right?
Yeah.
He was a six-figure person. He made a lot of money. He was a good guy. He was a believer. But I
Mhm.
remember I had said to him one day,
Mhm.
God has called me to teach women. He has called me to be a leader for women. I'm going to be traveling, doing a lot of speaking engagements, and that is what I know to be true about my purpose.
Yeah.
But within the relationship, I remember, now we did match with
Hmm.
a lot of things. Like, he's an investor. He's really good at his finances. He's a planner. He got
Yeah.
it together when it comes to a lot of those things. But on the
Okay.
spiritual side, I realized that
Mm.
we're not as compatible. So one day I
Wow.
said to him, I said, hey, how do you feel about, being with me and me traveling, doing what God has called me to do? He's like, well, I will always be there to support you, but God hasn't called me to that. And that was when I knew, though you're a good
Yeah.
man, you're not
Yeah.
good for me. That's okay. sometimes we have to realize, Torian, that people can be good, but they're not good for where we are going.
Wow.
So I had to end that relationship, though it was hard, because I'm like, dang, this was a good guy. He had great qualities. We had similar values and everything. But it was just that one thing when it came to purpose, we didn't align all the way. That one piece, spirituality, it did not align the way I wanted it to be, because what I had to look at my life, and I said, you know what? Because I need a man that is like anointed. He can pray over me. He can lay hands, because I'm gonna be laying hands, right?
Yeah.
But I don't need a man that's not that spiritual. Like, I need a man that's filled with the Holy Ghost, that when I say, babe, we need to fast, he's gonna stop what he's doing, and he's gonna understand this is some demon stuff, okay? Because I don't play in the spirit. So I had to realize that though this was a good thing, it wasn't my God thing, and that was okay.
Wow. Man, oh my gosh. This is some good stuff. I think some people gotta definitely rewatch this a couple of times. It's getting deep, man. Tell me this, because in the dating phase, like people go out, sometimes people go to rooftops, and some people will go to bars. What do you think high quality, men or women hang out? Like, what would you suggest? I mean, I know you can be in a grocery store and stuff like that, but like, where do you feel like you can find some of these people that we're talking about with good qualities? Or you actually just won't know until you actually vet them? Like, but what do you think? Like, where can I go today, or a woman on here, where can she go today to find someone that's like-minded that she can vet and get to know?
Just go outside.
Just go outside. You tell us.
They're everywhere. I mean, to be honest, they can be online. So I'm gonna say this. So what I love about the online dating space is that you can meet people online, and you just have to be very careful, though. You have to have a good vetting process. But honestly, I think high value people are everywhere. They're everywhere. They're outside. They're on the dating apps. They're at now. I'm very careful to say personally, I don't recommend going to a club to meet some. I personally, because I know when I used to go clubbing, the type of men, dragging me, tapping me in my booty, like, saying no, like, you gotta like be realistic. Now to go to like conferences, different shops, different events, like places where business people go for like those that are like, okay, you know what, I want somebody that's high value.
Right.
Think about places that people would go to get value. And that's where you go.
Yeah.
Business events, seminars, workshops. Those places are really good places that I recommend. But like I said, you can go to the grocery store. You can be anywhere. But it's also a matter too. What I tell people is that it's also, how do you look when you're going out?
Ooh, how do you look?
Especially the woman.
Maybe we're in the abundance outside now.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be realistic. Men are very visual, right?
Very, very.
So like, I mean, for those women that's like, listen, I do want to attract a high value man. Then how is your parents when you're going out? How is your face? A lot of women got that resting bee face. And I talk about that. We be this. Learn how to smile more. I'm telling you, because imperfect. So we have to be mindful when we're out shopping at the grocery store. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to walk around smiling like, hey, I'm not saying that, but it's the way that we look.
Yeah.
Look approachable.
Approachable, man. Because you know what? There's a lot of men that just won't approach a sister because of how her face is just frowning. So we look at her, she don't want to smile.
She look mean, right?
Now, let me ask you this too. When it comes to attracting a partner, do you think that men should be the only ones shooting a shot? Because you don't see the women shooting a shot. You know what I'm saying? They all, you don't see the sister. I mean, like, should they like, okay, I'm not saying go up to them, but I'm saying, like, should they be shooting a shot? You know what I'm saying? Like, you see an attractive guy and, he's with his friends, just you, maybe it's you and your homegirls, but like, should that be a thing? Because we like, I just feel like we always do it, but I never seen a woman actually approach a man. Like women, I'm not saying women are not the prize because you guys definitely are,
Right.
right? But why we don't see women shooting a shot nowadays?
We do. I mean, I've heard of women shooting their shots. I
Hmm.
personally think that a man should definitely pursue.
Hmm.
Think that a woman can do is make her presence known. So
Okay.
let's just say you see an attractive man, he's with his friends. I would say to, say, hey, how you guys doing? Like do something small so that
Yeah.
he sees her. But I don't think she should be pursuing him and chasing after him. No, he should see her. He
Mm-hmm.
should see that, okay, wow, you know what? She is attractive and whatever the case may be. And then he should come over to her and do that. Now, when it comes to the online world,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you ladies some gems. When you see a man online and you're like, oh, he's very handsome. I like what he got going on with his content. What you do is you go on his page and you start liking, like like his pictures, his posts, and all of that. That man should see, like, wait a minute, who is she? Who is this? You know what I'm saying? Now, let's just say you're doing all of that and he still ain't reach out, then
Yeah.
comment right on his story post. Because that will go to his inbox. And I'm telling you, that man, he should go on your profile, right?
Wow.
The moment he goes on your profile, he should see whether or not this is someone he would like to talk to. But if he doesn't, it's okay. Do
Yeah.
not take it personal. But ladies, we got to make our presence known. And to me, that is a form of shooting your shot by
Yeah.
liking by you liking his posts, his story posts, commenting, and letting
Mhm.
him see, like, oh, hey, I'm here. I'm, like letting that man see that you exist. Because
Mhm.
truthfully, within the online space, Torian, we
Mhm.
have so many people who follow us, right? So
Yeah.
like a lot of times I think people get lost within
Right.
who's liking our posts, who's commenting. Because I know for me,
Right.
there's a lot of times where I miss a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that if you like a lot of his posts and you're like, okay, I'm gonna leave a comment, he
Hmm.
see you.
Hmm.
And then you'll see what he does.
Yeah.
And if he does nothing, it's okay too.
Absolutely. That's good. So for the men, like for the men out there, that are trying to attract, a high quality partner, what are some places we could okay, I'm gonna say it like this. If if a man is trying to attract a high quality woman, it doesn't have to be high quality, right? Just a woman, a good woman. Um, we talked about what the man should have in place, but I'm gonna say, how does a man make his presence known?
Okay. So I'm gonna say this. It's so important that a man does not appear thirsty.
Oh, Jesus.
I think so often
Yeah.
when a man slides in DMs, for instance, online,
Hmm.
when he's coming off too strong
Yeah.
or too thirsty, it's a turn
Mhm.
off.
Wow.
Shoot your shot and say, hey, how are you doing today? Come off very, gentle, but
Yeah.
with approach, and she
Hmm.
will see you. And
Right.
just give it a moment. Do not talk
Mhm.
about, oh, the Lord said you're gonna be my wife. Like, you doing the most. You don't even know
Wow.
me.
Yeah.
And here's another tip for the men.
Hmm.
I think it's important for men to know, don't go too fast, because there is something called love bombing, which
Yeah.
is a whole nother lie. And love bombing is when someone tries to manipulate you and they go really fast and they just it is like a lot of love bombing, like a lot of compliments really fast, a lot of gifts and all
Yeah.
these different things, and they're coming off really strong.
Right.
Men have to be careful that their approach is not too strong in the beginning. Pace yourself.
Right.
Go slow, be gentle with it, and if she's interested, she'll do what she needs to do. But I just think men have a tendency to just come off really thirsty and all up in people's DMs. And then also, like, another thing I'm gonna say is,
Uh huh.
we don't want to see you on your social media page and you're talking to a whole bunch of women, because that's a
What?
so I'm saying, so like a man that's like, okay, like, I want to settle down.
Yeah.
Clean up your social media page. Clean up things. Like, you
Oh
don't want to see a whole bunch of
man.
naked woman on your feed and all your
Okay.
friends, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
we want to see that you are actually a good quality woman based off of your profile. Because here's what I teach the ladies in my program. Go to his profile and vet his profile.
That's good. I like it. So, okay, and I know guys, like, this is like, we overboard in time because this was originally supposed to be an hour. So I'm thinking we're gonna have to do a part 2 to this because it's so much. Like, there's a couple more things I really want to pick your mind, but we probably be on here for 3 hours really like dissecting this thing. Now, 2 more things that I want to talk about before we end is the one. Okay, now, is it attractive, or does it take away that a lot of women comment on a man's profile?
No, it does not take away when he has a lot of comments, because it depends on what he does. So, for instance, somebody like you, you may have a lot more women than you do men, right? Because of what you do. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what we're watching is, how do you interact with the comments? We're watching your behavior. We're not someone, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so how does he come off? Does he come off flirty?
Yeah.
Or what? So we're watching your behavior.
So, but you know what? Is it wrong, right? Like, is it wrong to, okay, because you just said we're watching your behavior, but if that man is single, is it bad, right? Like, is it technically bad?
Yeah, but we don't want to see that you're doing it to everybody who left the comment. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least be a little discreet about it, you know?
Discreet?
Be a little discreet. Keep it cute. Keep it cute in the comments.
Okay. Watching the behavior. Okay. My last question is, can you find a quality person on a dating app? Because
absolutely.
Because let me just talk about this. Like, we got BLK, we got Christian Mingle, we got what's that? Something fishes. We got
plenty of fish.
Plenty of fishes. We got Hinge. we got so many different things. I ain't gonna lie. Have I had any success on a dating app? I haven't. But I meet a lot of women. I meet a lot of people, but I haven't had any success. So I think that dating apps are great to meet people, but the execution stage is sometimes the hardest of actually, okay, let's get outside of the app. Okay, let's FaceTime. Okay, let's go out. That part right there is a little blurry sometimes. So what is your perception of attracting a partner on a dating app?
All right. So shout out to one of my clients who just finished up my dating coaching program, and she's watching right now. And she met someone that she's now dating. She met him on Facebook dating, and she said, yes.
Wow.
He's a quality man, and they are dating with a purpose. So I can definitely say, I also have a friend of mine, when she met her now husband, I helped her with the process, and, talking to him, going on dates, I helped her, and now they're married for over 3 years. Wow. And he's an amazing man of God. And the crazy thing about their story is that they met on Plenty of Fish. I do not like Plenty of Fish.
I'm not a fan.
I don't like Plenty of Fish. There's some thirsty men on there, but what I can honestly say is that he was like one of the maybe 10,000 men, because a lot of the men are really thirsty. And so my thing is, dating apps can work. I think it's about finding the right dating app for your preference. And that's what people don't know, is that dating apps can actually be a success for you, but it's also your strategy. How are you going on there? What are you saying? What tools are you using?
Right.
Because sometimes what I see is that sometimes people go on dating apps and they're so fascinated just by how a person looks.
Right. Facts.
And that's something that will make you fail all the time. You can't just go based from, okay, well, somebody's cute, so I'm gonna go ahead and match with him. You gotta go to that. You have to go to that person's profile to vet them, to make sure that they have the qualities that you're looking for, and then you match. Not the other way around, to where you match because he look good, and then you come and talk to him and he's not saved. He's a whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are doing it backwards.
Right.
But then another thing I realize with my
Mhm.
clients is I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Ladies that are watching me, I know I'm honest. When it comes to dating apps, I
Mhm.
feel like men don't know how to create a dating profile. What's up with y'all? Y'all profile
Oh
be
man.
hideous.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know what? Because like we really don't think into that's very true because it took me a
Yeah,
while to complete my Hinge profile. Like I had to really like it took me a couple of days, like because I noticed that okay, I had a blank profile, I wasn't getting no results. I just thought like, okay, my pictures is enough, like I'm saying,
no,
my looks. But those questions and those prompts allow someone to really like see who you are and
yeah,
understand you. And a lot of times we don't want to put in the extra work. See, that's a lot of times, like, see, this is with the younger generation. We don't want to put the work in,
that's
right?
good.
We don't want to put the work in. We want that put in the microwave for 30 seconds, it's done. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like that. So anything that is worth finding, I'm gonna say a quality person, you're gonna have to put some level of effort in. You know what I'm saying? Because
Good.
the effort that you put in is what you're gonna get. You put in less effort, you're gonna get a less of a partner. You
That's
put
good.
in more effort, you're gonna attract someone that is going to see, okay, dang, this person really put some thought into this. They're not just looking for everybody. And the crazy thing about it is the less effort that you put in, you're probably going to get more results. But when you put in, what I mean by that, you got a lot of people because you're getting less results. But when you put in more effort, there's not going to be a lot of people. There's going to be the right people to actually swipe right because they see that, okay, the wrong person will be like, I don't fit this description. So let me just keep on going.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So basically you have to be intentional when it comes to
yeah.
apps you do. So here's something that I tell people, and this is a gem that people pay hundreds and thousands for. Okay. So
Woo.
when it comes to dating,
Mhm.
the dating apps and finding success, one of the things I tell my clients that I work with is you want to see what is his response rate.
Wow.
When a man takes 2 to 3 days to respond, he's not intentional about his dating life. He may
Wow.
not be available emotionally to date.
Yeah.
So we give you at least 24 hours to respond. When you take more than 24 hours, that lets us know, you know what, maybe you're not emotionally available. So we ask the question, do you
Yeah.
think you are in a place that you're ready to date right now? Because people put in the work for what they want. And you
Right.
want to be with someone that's willing to do the work, just like you just said. So
Yeah.
someone that's really serious about getting married, someone that's really serious about dating, they gonna be
Mhm.
like, oh well, let me check my app today because I need to see if so and so responded.
Yeah.
It is gonna be on your mind.
Mm.
So people who go days, I had a client, the guy went like a whole week. I said, absolutely not, delete, because he's
Wow.
not ready. He's
Yeah.
not emotionally available.
Wow.
And so
But
being intentional about the time you're putting in as well is important when you're on dating apps.
so Roxy, I gotta give you some pushback to this, man, because like you saying the men don't be responding, but the ladies be taking forever to be responding. I mean, we will send messages, we will shoot our shot, we will grand rising queen, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, for the grand rising kings out there, like we really be sending out messages. And now, here's what I find: most of the women check your filtered inbox. Like
Yeah,
most of the messages are not going to go to the inbox.
that's true.
So the next thing is, yes, we know you're beautiful. We know you have hundreds of dudes trying to holler at you, but all those dudes aren't the same.
Yeah.
So you just thinking like, okay, man, this person saying I'm beautiful. I heard that already. So you just gonna bypass this man because he said you were beautiful? Like that, like all men that just say you're beautiful are not the same. Some of them actually want nothing, and some of them want something. You have to, if you're in that stage, you have to vet them out. So I feel like women be taking a long time to text back. I don't know about the men. I feel
We
like
do too. We can. So yeah, this is not like a gender thing. This is,
Okay.
I think, people who are really serious about dating, they're going to be intentional about their response rate. I do want to say this too. I think how a man messages a woman is also important. So let's just say you're saying, "Hey, beautiful,"
Yeah,
and stuff
that's
like
true.
that. At the beginning, you're gonna
Right.
come off like you're like all the guys that message us. Because for me
Yeah.
personally, when it comes to like those types of messages, I just
Mhm.
think he's just another one of those guys for real. But
Wow.
I think that a man who puts thought and
Creativity.
yeah, it's like, okay, show me that you could be different.
Okay.
You know what
So
I'm saying? Be different. So what is that one thing that will set you apart? You want to be different. You don't want to be labeled like the rest of the men in her DMs.
so instead of saying, "Hey, beautiful," I'm trying to think like, okay, um, I don't know, man. I give
Okay,
you
okay, wait.
go
Okay,
ahead. Go ahead.
let me give you an example.
Okay.
So instead of you saying, "Hey, beautiful," and just being very generic, why
Yeah.
don't you go to her page and check out what she's doing, and then you leave her like a message saying, "Hey, Roxy, I mean, I saw that you went live today. You talked about such and such. How was
Mhm.
that experience for you being on that podcast?" You know what I'm saying? Like, let
Yeah.
her
Okay.
know that you were
Mhm.
checking her out,
Right.
that you were scoping on her page. You're like, "Oh, okay. Who? Wait a minute. Who was this
Right.
man? He was on my page." You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And that is going to let her know that you're
Mhm.
intentional, that you were on her profile and you're actually looking at the details. So
That's
do something different.
that's good. Well, man, this has been an amazing live. This has actually been like my longest live, actually longest bit. And Roxy, I mean, we're gonna have to do a part two because there's some other things of dating that I like to discuss.
Yeah,
There's sex before marriage. There's a whole bunch of
it's a
things.
lot.
Yeah, there's a couple of things. So I just want to say I appreciate you for coming on, and I appreciate everybody in the comment section just giving value and tuning in because this is very important. When two
Yeah.
people come together, you definitely don't want to waste time. People are actually some people are looking for some people are looking for love, some people are looking for marriage, some people are looking for purpose, some people want to play around. But you got to distinguish what people are actually looking for, and that takes asking the right questions in the very beginning, asking the hard questions that people don't want to talk about. Maybe some people want to make no one wants to wait 9 months to know something that I should know it about in day one, right? Let's not waste time. Let's just get the questions out there so we can figure out if we're a great fit.
Yeah.
So Rox, can you tell us where we can follow you? Because I want my audience to know, where you're located as far as Facebook, Instagram. Like, where can they follow you just to kind of check out your content and maybe be a part of your program and so forth?
Yeah, so for those of you guys that are watching, especially all the ladies, I see some of my clients, I see the women in my community. Thank you ladies for tuning in. I enjoyed this conversation. And so for those of you who are interested in working with me, remember I have programs that will help you on your healing journey, and then I have programs that will help you within your dating experience. So I have a group program for my dating, and then I have a one-on-one session for my healing program. You can find me on whatever platform. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook at Life Coach Roxy, and then also I'm on Facebook, and my name is Roxanne Tashana. I'm gonna put it in the comment so you guys. I think I can put in the comment. Yep.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
I just did it in the comments on Facebook. It's Roxanne Tashana, and I would just love to see how I can help you ladies to just be able to cultivate healthy and loving relationships,
Yeah.
help you figure out why you keep attracting the wrong type of men and so forth. I also want to say that I do have courses, I do have books
Mhm.
available, I have a ton of resources, I have free trainings. So you just send me a message, and I would love to see how my services can help you in any way.
Now, we have, a surprise uh, for a lot of you guys. And like I said, the purpose of this platform, guys, Millennial Kingdom Solution, is to bring value. I really want to connect consumers with information because um, things can go right. I'm reminded of the scripture that says people perish because of lack of knowledge, and that's a real thing. Dating can be a great experience, but you have to have the right information. If you don't have the right information, then things can go bad very quickly. So the purpose of this platform to bring information to you guys so that way you guys can really develop. And that way you're not paying someone thousands of dollars and not getting anywhere. I want to bring quality people that's going to truly help you get where you need to go. And I've been vetting Roxy for a while, just watching her content, watching her lives, how consistent she is. So this is definitely someone that you would want to work with because of her heart to see people win, and how her heart to see people in happy relationships, and the results are in the pudding. So we have something very special on Saturday. Roxanne will be doing a workshop, right? And I wanted this to be more intimate. This is not about me. This is completely her. She's going to be giving you a lot of value. And I want you guys to understand, Roxanne has different programs, different masterminds that she charges a lot of money for because she's really serious about the development of women, mainly women, but she has a couple of male clients. So this workshop, I want you guys to take very seriously because she's taking time out of her schedule, taking time away from her children, her life, to come in here and pour into you guys. So Roxy, if you don't mind, just kind of giving a brief description of what you're going to be going over on Saturday and how they can tune in.
How about this? We're going to keep it a surprise. Okay. Y'all just need to tune in. Y'all just need to tune in on
Okay.
We are going to be going live at 3 p.m., right, Turian? Is it
That's
3
correct.
p.m.?
That's correct.
Yeah. So what I want you guys to do is just come at 3 o'clock, bring your journals. I tell all the ladies who work with me, bring your journals, okay? Because I drop a lot of gems that will help you on your journey. And so we're not going to spill the tea. We just going to keep it a suspense for those who are like, you know what? Yes, I do want to be a wife. Yes, I do want to be a husband. Mm-hmm. I just want you to be here at 3 p.m. on Saturday, and you're going to be able to see exactly what we're going to be talking about.
All right, y'all heard it best, man. The queen has definitely spoken. Well, you guys have an amazing day. Enjoy your Monday. Hope that this was fruitful for all of you guys that were able to tune in. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys Saturday for the workshop. Until we see each other again, guys. Have a great day.
Hold on one second. Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
So I do want to say, so for those of you guys, I definitely forgot to say this. I do have a Christian dating show, okay? It's called Kingdom Connections on Thursday, 9 p.m. And so you guys can follow me on Roxanne Tashana on Thursday nights. And this is a place to be. This is completely free, okay? And so what I do on this particular show is I have a few questions that I vet the person who actually come on camera. I will vet them for you, but you are responsible for whatever happens after the fact. But this is a place where Christians, we all gather together. We have a great time. And so come on the show, be camera ready, and let's just have a great time. We have a good time on Thursday nights. For those of you who are in my audience now and you're watching it, I'm sure you guys can attest to the fact that Thursdays be lit, okay? We have some funny people come on the show, and I don't know, we just have a good time with the Lord. So it's Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern.
What is it called? What's the name of the show again?
Kingdom Connections with a C. Kingdom Connections.
Connections.
Yeah.
Thursdays at what time?
Thursdays at 9 p.m.
Central?
No, the Eastern time.
Eastern Standard Time.
p.m. Eastern, Kingdom Connections. So for those of you who are like, yes, I'm single and I'm ready to date, I'm telling you, this is the place to be to hopefully meet your kingdom match.
Perfect. Well, you guys, man, she definitely got a lot of her sleeve. I mean, I should see some of my audience definitely on her show. I mean, she's just giving people the ability to meet new people. So this is great. I'm loving it. Maybe one day I'll come on her show and definitely bless her stage with my presence, because I know I'm looking for love, but I don't think it's my season. I don't think it's my season right now. So right now I'm chilling, but I still want love, man. I want to be married. I want all that good stuff. But right now,
how long have you been single?
Since January.
Okay, so 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months, man. And we don't, what? I'm gonna save my story. I'm gonna save my story for a while. I ain't gonna spill the tea. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna save my story. It's gonna be special. I can't wait. So,
okay,
guys,
we'll do a part 2.
Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2. If you had a blast, definitely make sure you guys rewatch this. Save it. Make sure you guys follow Roxanne. Make sure you guys come on Saturday for the workshop. Again, follow her page. Follow her. Let me know the results that you guys get, and I will see you guys again. And Roxanne, if you could stay after the broadcast, that'll be good. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
All right.